Are you prepared to explain the difference between put and patch? Or how to implement idempotent operations in a RESTful environment? In this video, we will cover REST API interview questions and answers, RESTful Web Services practice test. Master your next technical interview with these top 30 REST API interview questions and answers. In this video, we dive deep into 30 essential REST API interview questions covering architecture, HTTP methods, status codes, security, and best practices. This guide is designed to simulate a real technical interview and help you master the core concepts of RESTful web services. Make sure to grab a notebook, as we will be explaining the why behind every correct answer. Which of the following is not a core constraint of the REST architectural style? Option A, statelessness. Option B, layered system. Option C, standardized bidirectional streaming. Option D, cacheability. The correct answer is C. REST, representational state transfer, is defined by 6 specific architectural constraints. 1. Client-server. 2. Statelessness. 3. Cacheability. 4. Layered system. 5. Code on demand, optional. And 6. Uniform interface. Standardized bidirectional streaming is not a requirement of REST. In fact, REST is traditionally based on a request-response model over HTTP. Which HTTP method is considered idempotent, but not safe? Option A, GET. Option B, POST. Option C, PUT. Option D, options. The correct answer is C. A safe method is one that does not modify the state of the resource. Like GET or HEAD, an idempotent method is one where multiple identical requests have the same effect as a single request. PUT is idempotent because updating a resource multiple times with the same data results in the same state, but it is not safe because it modifies the resource. Which HTTP status code should be returned when a resource has been successfully created? Option A, 200 OK. Option B, 201 created. Option C, 202 accepted. Option D, 204 no content. The correct answer is B. The 201 created status code is the specific success code used to indicate that the request has been fulfilled and has resulted in one or more new resources being created. The response should typically include a location header pointing to the URI of the new resource. In the context of REST, what does statelessness mean? Option A, the server does not store any data in its database. Option B, the client must store the session state on the server side. Option C, each request from a client must contain all the information necessary to understand and process the request. Option D, the API cannot be used by more than one client at a time. The correct answer is C. Statelessness means that the server does not store any context about the client session between requests. Each individual request from the client must be self-contained, including authentication tokens and all necessary parameters, so the server can process it without needing information from previous requests. What is the primary difference between the put and patch methods? Option A, put is for creating, patch is for deleting. Option B, put replaces the entire resource, while patch performs a partial update. Option C, patch is idempotent, while put is not. Option D, There is no functional difference. They are interchangeable. The correct answer is B. Put is used to replace an entire resource with a new representation. If some fields are missing in a put request, they may be overridden with null or default values. Patch is used for partial updates, meaning you only send the specific fields you want to change, leaving the rest of the resource intact. A 401 unauthorized status code indicates that Option A. The server is down. Option B. The user is logged in but does not have permission for this specific resource. Option C. The request lacks valid authentication credentials for the target resource. Option D. The resource has been moved permanently. The correct answer is C. 401 unauthorized specifically means unauthenticated. It indicates that the request has not been applied because it lacks valid authentication credentials. If the user is authenticated but lacks permission, a 403 forbidden should be used instead. What does HATEOAS stand for in REST design? Option A. Hypermedia as the engine of application state. Option B. High access to every open application system. Option C. Hypertext and transfer entry over asynchronous systems. Option D. Hypermedia API transfer entry operating all services. The correct answer is A. HATEOAS stands for Hypermedia as the engine of application state. It is a component of the REST application architecture that distinguishes it from other network application architectures. It means the client interacts with the network application entirely through hypermedia provided dynamically by the application servers via links in the response. According to REST best practices, which is the preferred way to name a resource URI? Option A. Get USERs. Option B. Users delete 1. Option C. Users 1. Option D. Update _user profile. The correct answer is C. RESTful URIs should be based on nouns, resources, rather than verbs, actions. The action is determined by the HTTP method, get, post, delete, etc. Therefore, users 1 is the correct way to identify a specific user resource, while getUsers or delete includes verbs in the URI, which is against REST principles. Which 4XX status code should be used if the client sends a request that the server cannot understand due to malformed syntax? Option A. 400 bad request. Option B. 403 forbidden. Option C. 404 not found. Option D. 405 method not allowed. The correct answer is A. The 400 bad request status code indicates that the server cannot or will not process the request due to something that is perceived to be a client error, e.g., malformed request syntax, invalid request message framing, or deceptive request routing. What is the primary purpose of a JWT, JSON Web Token, in a REST API? Option A. To encrypt the database. Option B. To compress the API response for faster transmission. Option C. To securely transmit information between parties as a JSON object for authentication. Option D. To provide a graphical interface for the API. The correct answer is C. JWTs are commonly used in REST APIs for authentication and information exchange. Once a user logs in, each subsequent request will include the JWT, allowing the server to verify the user's identity and permissions without having to query the database for session info every time. Which HTTP method is used to retrieve metadata about a resource without the response body? Option A, GET. Option B, POST. Option C, HEAD. Option D, Options. The correct answer is C. The head method is identical to GET except that the server must not return a message body in the response. It is used to check if a resource exists, to check its size via content length, or to check its last modified date without downloading the full content. In a layered system constraint, can a client tell if it is connected directly to the end server or an intermediate? Option A, yes. It must always know for security. Option B, no. The client cannot ordinarily tell. Option C, only if the server sends a special 1xx status code. Option D, yes, but only if using HTTPS. The correct answer is B. The layered system constraint states that a client cannot ordinarily tell whether it is connected directly to the end server or to an intermediary along the way, like a load balancer, proxy, or cache. This improves system scalability by allowing intermediaries to be added without changing client code. If a client tries to use a POST method on a URI that only supports GET, which status code should be returned? Option A, 400 bad request. Option B, 401 unauthorized. Option C, 405 method not allowed. Option D, 501 not implemented. The correct answer is C. The 405 method not allowed status code indicates that the method specified in the request line is known by the origin server but not supported by the target resource. The server must generate an allow header in a 405 response containing a list of the target resource's currently supported methods. Which of the following is a common way to implement API versioning? Option A, URI versioning, e.g., v1 users. Option B, header versioning, e.g., accept version, v1. Option C, media type versioning, e.g., accept, application, VND, MyAPI, v1 plus JSON. Option D, all of the above. The correct answer is D. API versioning can be implemented in several ways. URI versioning is the most visible, while header and media type versioning, content negotiation, keep the URIs clean but are slightly more complex for clients to implement. All three are valid strategies depending on the project requirements. Which HTTP header is used to prevent cross-site request forgery? CSRF. In some REST implementations, although REST is usually protected by tokens. Option A, content type. Option B, XXSS protection. Option C, X requested with. Option D, authorization. The correct answer is C. The X requested with header, often set to XML HTTP request, was traditionally used to prevent CSRF because browsers didn't allow this custom header to be sent across domains without a CORS pre-flight check. However, Modern REST security relies more heavily on bearer tokens, JWT, which are not automatically sent by browsers like cookies are. What is the meaning of the 204 no content status code? Option A. The request failed because there was no data. Option B. The server successfully processed the request, but there is no entity body to return. Option C. The server could not find the resource. Option D. The client should stop sending requests. The correct answer is B. 204 no content is used when the server has successfully fulfilled the request and there is no additional content to send in the response payload body. This is commonly used for successful delete requests or put updates where no feedback is needed. Beyond success. Which content type, header value, is most commonly used for REST APIs transferring JSON data? Option A. Text, HTML. Option B. Application, XML. Option C. Application, JSON. Option D. Multipart, form data. The correct answer is C. While REST can use XML, HTML, or plain text, application, JSON, has become the industry standard for RESTful APIs due to its lightweight nature and ease of use with JavaScript and most modern programming languages. What does the cacheable constraint in REST aim to achieve? Option A. To make the API more secure. Option B. To improve network efficiency and reduce server load. Option C. To ensure data is always fresh from the database. Option D. To prevent the client from storing data. The correct answer is B. The cacheable constraint requires that responses to a request be implicitly or explicitly labeled as cacheable or non-cacheable. If a response is cacheable, the client or intermediary can reuse that response for later identical requests, significantly improving performance and reducing latency. Which 3xx status code indicates that the resource has been moved permanently to a new URI? Option A. 301 moved permanently. Option B. 302 found. Option C. 304 not modified. Option D. 307 temporary redirect. The correct answer is A. 301 moved permanently is used for permanent URI redirection. This means that any future links to this resource should use one of the returned URIs. In contrast, 302 found or 307 temporary redirect suggest the client should continue to use the original URI for future requests. Is the post method idempotent? Option A. Yes. Always. Option B. No. It is generally not idempotent. Option C. Yes. But only if the body is empty. Option D. Only when used for searching. The correct answer is B. Post is not idempotent. Sending the same post request multiple times will usually result in multiple resources being created on the server. E.g., if you submit a place order form twice, you might be charged twice. This is the key difference from put, which is idempotent. What is content negotiation in REST? Option A. The process of determining the price of an API subscription. Option B. The process where the client and server agree on the media type, e.g., JSON versus XML, of the data to be exchanged. Option C. The process of encrypting the payload. Option D. A way to negotiate the speed of the connection. The correct answer is B. Content negotiation is the mechanism that allows a client and server to agree on the best format. For a resource, the client uses headers like accept to tell the server what formats it can handle, and the server responds with the most appropriate format using the content type header. Which status code is returned when a client sends a request for a resource that doesn't exist? Option A. 400 bad request. Option B. 403 forbidden. Option C. 404 not found. Option D. 500 internal server error. The correct answer is C. 404 not found is the standard response code indicating that the server cannot find the requested resource. This could be because the URI is misspelled or the resource has been deleted from the database. Which of these is a benefit of the statelessness constraint? Option A. Server-side memory usage is reduced because no session state is stored. Option B. Scalability is improved as any server in a cluster can handle any request. Option C. It simplifies server implementation as it doesn't need to manage session expiration. Option D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Statelessness provides several benefits. Scalability. Requests can be load balanced easily. Reliability. Recovery from partial failures is easier. And visibility. Monitoring tools don't need to look beyond a single request to understand its context. Which HTTP method is typically used to perform an action that doesn't fit into standard CRUD, such as triggering a calculation? Option A. Get. Option B. Post. Option C. Put. Option D. Patch. The correct answer is B. In REST, while CRUD is mapped to get, post, put, delete, any operation that doesn't clearly fit as a resource manipulation, like sending an email or triggering a process, is typically handled via a post request to a sub-resource or an action-based URI. What is the purpose of the 409 conflict status code? Option A. The user password was wrong. Option B. The request could not be completed due to a conflict with the current state of the resource, e.g., edit collisions. Option C. The server is currently busy. Option D. The client sent too many requests. The correct answer is B. 409 conflict is used when a request conflicts with the current state of the server. This is most common in optimistic locking scenarios where two users try to update the same resource simultaneously, or when trying to create a resource that already exists, if uniqueness is required. What is the role of the authorization header in a REST request? Option A. To tell the server which format the client wants. Option B. To carry credentials, like a bearer token, to authenticate the client. Option C. To specify the version of the API. Option D. To list the allowed HTTP methods. The correct answer is B. The authorization header is used to send credentials that prove the client's identity. For example, in OAuth2, it usually takes the form authorization bearer less than token greater than. Which status code range is reserved for server errors? Option A. 2xx. Option B, 3xx. Option C, 4xx. Option D, 5xx. The correct answer is D. 5xx status codes indicate cases where the server is aware that it has erred or is incapable of performing the request. Common examples include 500 internal server error, 502 bad gateway, and 503 service unavailable. What does the uniform interface constraint signify? Option A. All APIs in the world must look the same. Option B. A consistent way of interacting with a given server regardless of the resource type. Option C. The client must use a specific browser. Option D. The server must use a specific database. The correct answer is B. The uniform interface constraint simplifies and decouples the architecture, enabling each part to evolve independently. It includes 4 sub-constraints: resource identification in requests, resource manipulation through representations, self-descriptive messages, and HATEOAS. What should a server return if a delete request is successful but the response includes no body? Option A, 200 OK. Option B, 201 created. Option C, 204 no content. Option D, 404 not found. The correct answer is C. For a successful delete operation, if the server is not returning any status message or object in the body, 204 no content is the most appropriate and standard response. A 429 too many request status code is used for Option A. Data validation errors. Option B. Rate limiting. Option C. Database connection timeouts. Option D. Unauthorized access. The correct answer is B. 429 too many requests is the standard code for rate limiting. It indicates that the user has sent too many requests in a given amount of time. Rate limiting. It is often accompanied by a retry after header indicating how long to wait before making a new request. That concludes our top 30 REST API interview questions. Understanding these concepts is the foundation of modern web development and a key requirement for any backend role. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more technical interview prep. Don't forget to check out the full practice test link in the description to ensure you are 100% ready for your exam. For the full 400+ question practice test suite with detailed explanations, check the link in the description below.